2021 is coming soon and we need to get ready now. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to prepare for the coming year. Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean, and I help people to spiritually awaken so they can enter a conscious path of ascension. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe so you catch all my videos to guide you on your awakening journey. Now, I think we all want 2020 to be over as quickly as possible, don't we? I mean, this has to be the weirdest year ever, maybe in the history of the world. And I say that because this might be the first time ever that we have actually seen a uniform level of insanity on the entire planet all at the same time. Now, January 1st, 2021 does not magically bring this madness to an end. In fact, things could potentially get even worse for a certain period of time. So I want to show you how you can start now and change that negative global potential into something much more positive for yourself. So let's begin by looking at the simplicity of what is actually going on. Now, as you may have seen in my recent video right here, we are in the midst of an ascension timeline split. In simplest terms, this means that there are two primary timelines developing, a high vibrational positive timeline and a low vibrational negative timeline. The powerful cosmic ascension energy is pushing those who are ready into a higher, more positive timeline. Now, the controllers of this planet who have been controlling things for thousands of years can only exist at the negative, low vibrational timeline. They cannot maintain themselves or their existence at a higher timeline of evolution. It's kind of like how a fish cannot live above water. It will not survive if it comes out of the water. It must have that watery environment in order to survive. And in a similar way, the dark forces and the controllers can only exist in an environment with a very low vibration of fear, anger, and division. That low vibrational environment of fear and anger are to them what water is to a fish. So they really can't leave that low vibrational environment any more than a fish can leave the water. Now, their entire agenda on this planet requires that they own us and control us as slaves. So they need to keep us at this low frequency of fear and anger. They need to keep us at this lower negative timeline in order to maintain control of our souls. So they use lies, fear, anger, and division to manipulate us into staying on their lower timeline. Because you see, if we shift to a higher timeline, they lose access to our souls at a cosmic level. So before this ascension was underway, they had this entire planet all sewn up. They had everyone here perfectly and unknowingly enslaved. And let me add another reason as to why they really require access to our energy. And I'm not just talking about the physical controllers, I'm also talking about the interdimensional extraterrestrial controllers that are behind all of it, those controllers that we don't even see with our physical eyes. See, they are so separated and divorced from source energy that they are unable to sustain themselves in their current state because they don't really have much of a life force, or they actually have very little life force. So they use our life force energy in order to survive. But they have to access it at its lowest possible vibration, which is in the form of fear and anger. See, our fear and our anger is energetic food for these entities. I mean, they really need it to survive. So as long as we give them free reign over our minds and our consciousness, they can maintain access to whatever they need from us in the form of energy. So things were going very smoothly for these characters before this ascension process began, and their plans to shift us into an AI reality were well underway. But then cosmic ascension began and they totally freaked out. Suddenly, these reptilian and otherworldly controllers are confronted with a situation that they do not control. This extremely high vibrational cosmic force of energy moves into our reality at a galactic interdimensional level. The purpose of this cosmic force is to raise the vibration of as many souls as are ready and to wake them up so they can ascend to a higher level of reality. Well, this totally freaks out the controllers because they not only stand to lose their slave workforce, but they also stand to lose their energetic source of survival. So they are seriously threatened by this ascension energy, and thus they begin to clamp down on us in very extreme ways. And that, of course, is what we're seeing today. They will do everything they possibly can to keep us on their timeline and prevent us from ascending. So the more power that ascension introduces into that higher timeline, the more the controllers are going to double down on everything they're doing to try and keep us under their control. So 2021 is a year where things are likely to continue intensifying and accelerating. The light will get brighter and we will see even more. And the dark is probably going to get darker. And have you ever noticed that wherever the sunlight is brightest, that it also produces the darkest shadows? So I want to suggest that you start preparing for 2021 now. And there are two reasons for this. The first reason is that if you don't begin preparing now, you risk positioning yourself in a waiting mode to see what's going to happen. And that might make it very difficult to catch up to where things actually are at the turn of the new year. The second reason to prepare now is that it takes the pressure off. And we don't need any more pressure, right? See, if you wait until January 1st, you risk putting yourself under enormous pressure to evolve. I mean, that's really a little bit too late to start thinking about this. So preparing now takes the pressure off because it gives you some breathing room so you can figure a few things out. So let me show you some highly positive things that you can do right now to expand your consciousness and empower your ability to manifest a better life. This is what will keep you moving towards that higher timeline of ascension. First, I want to suggest that you start by viewing everything as energy. This is going to help open you up to what you are really capable of. Take some time every day to just meditate on the fact that everything is energy. All you have to do is just close your eyes and see if you can feel that out. And the second thing you want to do is begin to connect with your higher self in a truly meaningful way. You see, your higher self is really you in a higher form. And it's time to end this illusion of separation between the two. You know, like there's you and then there's your higher self. We need to end that divided experience. So the most powerful thing that you can do is to aim to close the gap between you and your higher self. It's time to open up and allow your higher self to enter into your life here on this planet. It's time for your higher self to manifest in all of its beauty and capability here on this earth. And that, my friends, is the ultimate form of waking up. See, your higher self knows how to easily manipulate energy, light, and form to produce manifestation. Your higher self is actually you as a cosmic creator. Your higher self knows exactly how to transcend time in order to produce miracles. Your higher self knows how to surrender and integrate with the laws and principles of creation in order to produce a desired result. See, here's the secret, you guys. The one thing that the controllers absolutely do not want is for your higher self to show up here. That would be absolutely devastating for them. That's why they're clamping down in the way that they are. That's why they want you in a state of fear, anger, and helplessness. See, they've had you wearing another mask for much longer than they've had you wearing this physical mask. They've had you living an entire lifetime wearing the mask of a false identity. They've had you wearing the mask of what they want you to be. But spiritual awakening and the Great Awakening are causing people to wake up and take off the fake mask because they are waking up to the fact that it is so incredibly painful to live behind that fake mask. So this is all quite alarming to the controllers. It's like they probably want to scream at us, "Wear that mask of your fake self, people." But they can't really say that openly, right? So they come up with something much more effective. So let's talk for a moment about the symbolism of the physical mask that they are currently so obsessed with. And I don't want to make this be about the virus. I want to bring up something that is much more significant. Who you are and your higher self express most powerfully through your face. Faces are exceedingly important to all of us as human beings. I mean, we recognize each other primarily through our faces. We connect with each other through the energy of our facial expressions. I mean, I don't think you'd want to see this video if I just showed you a video of my foot while I was talking. And think about it. People are willing to pay a lot more money to sit close to the stage in a theater. Why is that? It's because they want to see the faces of the performers. Now, there is a great deal of talk about us needing to wear masks forever in any and all situations. Now, the other day, my family and I went out and we did a bunch of different things. We ate out at some restaurants. And everywhere we went, it was just a sea of faceless humans. Humans with no expression of any kind because it was all hidden. And people who just couldn't connect. I mean, honestly, guys, it gets to be a little bit creepy. Now, because we're not talking about the virus, I want to talk about what a mask actually does. It suppresses your breathing and eliminates your facial expression. It also makes it very difficult for you to be heard and understood. Now, we're talking about the need for your higher self to have its full expression here on this planet, which is a totally empowering thing to do. Now, I want to say a couple of things about the breath. Now, if you've been following me, you probably know that I'm a full body channel, which means that my consciousness leaves my body in order for the Archangel Michael or the beings that I channel to come in and use it as a vehicle for their own expression. Now, the way that I do this is solely done through the breath. And I'll tell you right now, I could never do this with a mask on my face that was restricting my breathing. See, the degree to which we are present in our bodies is solely related to our breath and our ability to breathe. And your breath is also vitally important to the full function of your energetic chakra systems. I mean, this isn't rocket science, you guys. When your breath leaves, you're gone. You come in at birth via the breath. I mean, that's the first thing a new baby does is take its first breath. And then you leave at the end via the final exiting of the breath. So your breath is exceedingly powerful when it comes to you being here on earth in full presence. Now, the controllers cannot tolerate you being fully present on this earth at a higher level of existence. So the mask serves the wonderful purpose of suppressing your ability to be fully present and breathing naturally. And when you block a person's facial expression, you block a huge part of their manifesting presence. I mean, that is a serious block on their light. So the mask and the desperate obsession with it is really representative of the controller's total freak out, because your higher self enters your body through the breath and expresses itself primarily through your face. So the controllers say, no, faces are bad, breathing is dangerous. You see how this works? I mean, they even tried to get us to cover our eyes with goggles. And think about how much is expressed through our eyes. I think they were hoping to bury that as well. And you know those plexiglass dividers that are everywhere? Have you noticed that they totally block any energetic connection with the person on the other side? I mean, when you look at this from a higher perspective, it's totally obvious what they're trying to do. And installing a dreaded fear of sickness is the perfect excuse to do all of it. Now, if you personally feel a need to wear a mask for health reasons, or because you don't have a choice where you work, for example, well, that's really entirely up to you. I really don't have any issues about whether or not you feel a need to do that. It's not my goal to tell you whether or not you should wear a mask in certain situations. See, I really think you're smart enough to figure things out for yourself. I'm only suggesting that you look at this situation more deeply so you can account for the entire picture and be able to stay a lot more conscious at a much higher level. I actually brought up the subject of the mask to illustrate one of the very strange ways that the controllers are trying to prevent our ascension. So overall, here's what you can do to prepare for the coming year of 2021. Connect with your heart. Your heart is a powerful gateway to your higher self and to your cosmic higher level of intelligence. And practice breathing and being fully present in your body. Take time each day to experience the fact that everything is energy. Everything vibrates at a certain frequency. Reconnect with your higher self, and then open up to the full expression and manifestation of that higher self in your life. Remember that the power of your higher self is so great that it can transmute energy and produce miracles. Understand that all of the chaos, the violence, and the shutdown are designed to prevent this from happening. The controllers do not want us to ever connect with our true power. So take that simple knowledge into the next few months and expand on your experience of it. And the best way to open the door to your higher self is to think about this. When you look at the year 2021, intend that you will manifest the highest, most beautiful expression of yourself starting right now. Intend that your life unfolds as the highest, most beautiful expression of your highest self. Doing these simple things will empower you and get you well prepared to enter the new year of 2021 in the most positive way possible. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it out with your friends. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I am here every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday with new videos to support you on your awakening journey. With that, I'm sending you loads of love, light, and positive energy. I will see you in the next video. Namaste, everyone.